Good morning, everybody. And just to warn you, I might be a little bit wobbly, inside and out, actually, today, for lots of different reasons. The literal one is that my phone desk tripod just broke. So I'm actually holding my phone with a little holder. So it will be a little bit more wobbly than it normally is. So apologies for that. But actually rather interesting because that kind of echoes how I'm feeling in my physical body at the moment. Because yes, as the accompanying words to this video say, I fell out of a car on Friday. Not moving, thank God. But it's been a big lesson to me and a big journey over the last few days. Oh, excuse me, got a hair on my lip. So yeah, I was coming back from a beautiful morning swimming with my friend, and we'd had a lovely lunch together, and we'd had a good old catch up, and it was just gorgeous. And she was driving me home down a country road, and I suddenly remembered that I needed to post a letter. We remembered that there was a post box down this road, and so we kind of slowed down and we're looking for the post box. Anyway, we found it, ground to a halt, and I was in the middle of telling some story about something, so I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing, and went to leap out of the car to try and post the letter as quickly as possible, because I was aware that there was a big tractor coming up behind us and we didn't want to get caught behind the tractor. And anybody who lives in a rural environment will know what that is about. And long story short, I fell very awkwardly, really strange position, right onto the road. I fell mostly on my knees, but I was kind of twisted, and I was really, really shocked. What had happened was that one of my legs had got caught around the handle to my handbag. And I haven't had a physical fall like that for a long time, and certainly not one where I felt that shocked immediately. I couldn't actually move for a couple of minutes, and I'm not sure I felt pain as such, but I knew that I was really shocked. And I then gathered myself. My friend posted my letter, and I got back in the car thinking, okay, yeah, obviously shaken, but I seem to be reasonably okay. And so we were only about 5 minutes from home. So I got home, I did a call that I had lined up with somebody, and then I had something to eat, and then I had a hot shower. And that's when the pain started. And of course, I'd taken remedies by this stage. I had taken a lovely Nariani mix called Paramedic Rescue, because I didn't really have any major symptoms. Of course, I'd taken arnica as well, because actually one of the keynotes of arnica is being having some kind of trauma, but thinking you're okay, behaving as if you're telling everyone that you're okay. And my friend said to me, I don't think you are okay, Rebecca, because you've gone very pale. So I did take arnica first of all, of course. Then I took the paramedic mix, and then the pain started, and it got progressively worse throughout the evening, to the extent that I actually thought, I think I might have broken my arm, my wrist, because I couldn't move my hand at all. This hand, actually, which is absolutely fine today. It's slightly swollen still and a little bit stiff around the wrist, but that's it. But at that point, it was pretty severely painful. And the whole of my skeleton was just so painful, particularly my upper back at that stage. So I decided to run the Healy, and I ran a local stimulation program. So you put the sticky pads on to the where the pain is. And that actually really relieved that particular pain. And everything kind of moved downwards. So then I thought, okay, I just think I need a general program for joints and for bones. It felt very bone orientated. So I put my wristbands on and I ran the joints and bones, and that did help. But what it mostly told me was that I really needed to go to sleep. So I spent the rest of that evening drifting in and out of sleep and trying very hard not to move, because that was giving me a lot of pain. So that's when I swapped my remedies to Bryonia, because that's a keynote to Bryonia, which is, especially with bone stuff and with stuff around the ribs as well and the lungs, that the keynote is that you're much, much worse for any kind of movement. And that's what I felt very strongly. So the next morning I woke up and the severity of the pain was significantly less. I mean, way, way less. But I just felt as if I'd been beaten up, and my lower back, very, very painful. Anyway, I spent the rest of that day drifting in and out of sleep, really resting, running the Healy program, because that seemed to be making more difference than anything else. I didn't need the Bryonia anymore, so I was intermittently sticking with another Narayani mix called Injury Balance. And then come Sunday, I felt a really strong pull to be amongst the trees, to be on really lovely, good, healthy ground. And that's when I started to realise that my message is very much, and it still is present, that I have spent a long time, the last few weeks, being very much in my head. I'm doing a lot of learning about my Healy and about all sorts of things at the moment. And I'm very much in my thoughts more than my physical body. And I think that's what that rather painful and blunt reminder was, to actually literally look at my feet, connect with my feet, and be reminded that this time, any time really, but this time in particular, is about rooting and grounding and minding ourselves physically more, I think, than mentally or emotionally. So that's the message that I've received. It's interesting to me that I was drawn to the trees rather than, going for a walk on the beach or something like that. I very much needed to be amongst the trees. And the trees in a very particular place, the oak forests run down to the lakes, and a lot of the time you're very aware of the roots of the trees, and that's where I wanted to be. I was also reminded of the fact that this time of year we love to eat things like, warm soups. And what are the soups made of? They're all root vegetables. They're your onions, potatoes, carrots, parsnips, all of the vegetables that are in season at the moment, or the root vegetables. That is where the nourishing energy is. So yeah, I'm kind of rambling, but I'm still quite achy. I'm aware that my whole skeletal system is still aligning, it's adjusting, it's settling, and I'm still minding myself. So this week I'm going to just really slow the pace down and do whatever I can to connect with the ground and with the earth. There's a lovely Qi-gong practice that I do called Standing Like a Tree, which again I'm very drawn to at the moment, and it's a beautiful practice, and it's about pulling in that earth energy. So that's very much the message that was given to me. I don't know if any of you also need to hear that message, and if you do let me know. Just give me a heart in the comments. Perhaps there's some other message that you might need to hear this week or this morning. And I think, for all of us, it's a good reminder to actually really remember that we are meant to be slowing down, and we are meant to be minding our physical bodies at the moment and nourishing it and connecting it with the earth and feeding ourselves in the most nourishing way. So that's my message today. And yeah, I'm wishing you a beautiful, grounding, nourishing week. Mind yourselves. And if there's nothing else that you take from this, don't put your handbag in the footwell where you're sitting. And if you do, just watch that strap. Okay, take care.